All right, class. So chapter 8 gets into drawings. All right, so for drawings, okay, we're going to open up an existing part, okay, an existing model. For this one, we're going to use the chapter 7 tutorial as the book does as well. Okay. So it's pretty easy. Okay, so first things first, we go to File, Make Drawing from Part. Okay, we want to be making sure that we are using our correct templates. You want to be using the stick, B-size, ANSI. Okay, so accept that. Okay, the book just says to, click your own, whatever you're gonna have. Okay. A few things in here. Okay, we need to check on a few of our settings and options. Okay, we want to go to our drawings. Then our display style, we want to make sure that our hidden lines are visible. Okay, tangent lines are visible. Okay, goes through that on page 8-7 as well. Okay, we also want to check our document properties, making sure we're using the ANSI modified. We want to check our units, make sure we are in inch, pound, second. For this tutorial, 2-place decimal is acceptable. Okay, if you want to change it to 3, okay, you could do so by clicking the little arrow down and changing it there. Alright, so that's usually all you want to make sure. Okay, so if we hit accept that, okay, now we need to set our sheet properties using predefined sheet formats. Okay, so we want to get to our properties. What we need to do is move our cursor into the graphics area and click once with the right mouse button. We are looking for properties. Okay, if you don't see it here, okay, just hit the little drop down. It'll add more, and there we go. We got our properties here. So we select there, and this is where we change our scale of our part. Okay, so for this part, we will do a 2 to 1. Okay, make sure that we are in third angle projection. Okay, and we need to select the size. Most commonly used is a B size landscape. Okay, if you look at the book, it tells you to make a C size and then make a B size as well. Okay, to me that's a little pointless, so let's just go ahead and select our B size landscape and apply changes. Okay, the sheet scale has changed. No. Just hit accept. Okay, so if you see, notice everything here is blank so far. Okay, now we want to use we can select the 3 standard view button on the view layout toolbox. Okay, 3 standard views, and we can select our chapter 7 tutorial here. If we hit accept, this is what it gives us. Okay, we can now reposition these. See how it all stays together, because this line is all in sync. Okay, this edge is that edge flipped vertically. Okay, so if we look here, we got our hidden lines for our holes. Okay, if you see this line is a tangent line. Okay, a lot of times we want those off because that's hard to tell what that is. So tangent edge, okay, tangent edge is removed. Okay. So what else we got? Okay, repositioning move. Okay, on your own, reposition the views we've created so far. Note that the top view can be repositioned only in the vertical direction. If I grab this, okay, I can't move that left and right. I can only move that vertically because this is the parent. Okay, but if I move this, they all move together. Okay, but if I grab my top view, okay, I can only move that vertically. So what do you think will happen to my side view? If I grab that, I can't move that vertically. I can only move that horizontally. Okay, they're all interconnected. Okay. All right, so let's show you another way. Okay. So we can also bring our views over here. Okay. Let's click our properties and change our scale from 2 to 1 to 1 to 1. All right. So on 1 to 1, our scale. Okay. Get out of there. So if we go here, now the first one we choose is going to be our parent view. Okay. So let's try our top. And then if I just let that go and then I pull down, I get this. Okay. So I click again. Okay. See how it's only going from the top, right? I want one over here. Okay. I could do that. So let's do something like that. Okay. Then we can reposition these a little bit better. Okay, it's all connected. So if I move one, the other one goes with it. Right? So in general, hidden lines are not used in isometric views. Okay, so we want to add a little isometric view over here. If I'm looking at this part, I don't think we actually need this view. We can get all the dimensions elsewhere, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and delete that. Accept that. So we really only need these two views. Okay, so pull that up. Maybe pull that out up there a little bit. Now I want to add an isometric view. Okay, but let's do this a little different. For isometric views, okay, kind of want a hidden lines removed. Okay, and you usually want to use a custom scale, something that's usually smaller. Okay, so 1 to 2. Okay, but what we at Stick like to do is put a text box under here now. All right, sorry about that. So we need to add our text box under here. Okay. So if we right click, okay, one thing I like to do is do annotations and then note. And I just want to place that down here. And I want to say in all caps, isometric view scale none. Okay, and I want to center justify that. Okay. So I just want to have that note down there underneath my isometric view to let whoever's looking at this know that is just a, just for their reference. It's not to scale or anything. It is very handy. Okay, it is a very common practice, and you will be required to have that. Okay, you'll have to do that in all your future classes. Okay. So now we want to dimension this. Okay. So if we go to annotation and we click model items, okay, source, entire model, okay, in the source destination option panel of the model items, select the entire model option from the import from pull down menu and check import items into all views as shown. Okay, import items into all views as shown. Okay. Eliminate duplicates. Okay. We want that on. Okay. And let's see what that gives us. Okay, so if you see, if I just check that, of all these dimensions, that just go kind of everywhere. Okay, so we want to reposition those in a better manner. Okay, so let's pull this one out. Okay, you want to make sure that it's off the part. Okay, you don't want it something like this. You don't want it like this. Okay, nice, clearly legible. Okay, this one. Okay, you can do it a few different ways. Okay, make sure that it's pointing directly so it's not confusing. So you don't want to point it right at that center hole. You want it pointing over there, okay? The R of 1.75, okay? See how it comes in? It comes in how it was dimensioned to begin with, right? Okay, so I want to be pulling that down. Okay, you just want to make sure that it's clearly legible for right now. We're not gonna get into too crazy of drawings. All right, so if you see what I did there, so if you zoom all out, a simple F, and it fits it to your screen for you perfectly. Okay, you could have also gone into Smart Dimension and dimensioned all these on your own. Okay, but there's a few things that we do have to fix. Okay. So this is also the same as this. Okay. According to ASME standards, there's certain things that need to be done. So if we click on that, we highlight it, one left click, we come over here, and our text box, for sound like that, we want to put a 2 times there. Okay, so that's implying that it's 0.5 here and as well over here. All right. So we also need to do that for these 2 holes. Okay, so same thing, one left click, highlight our box, come over here 2 times. Okay, we also want to do that here. Okay, 2 times. Okay. So I know the book doesn't really go over that much right there. Okay. Well, we're also teaching ASME standards as well, all right? So make sure we're getting that. Okay. Other things we need to do. Okay, we need to add our center lines. If we see here this, but look, that kind of looks like a center line of that hole, but that's actually a tangency line. So ASME standards don't like that on. So we're going to right click there and go into tangent edge. We want tangent edges removed. Okay. It's not good. You don't want a dimension to a tangent line ever. Okay. You want those on your isometric view to show and help out, but never on an actual print. Okay, so we need to add center lines to a view. Okay, so we want those, okay, here and here. Okay, we need to select the view, select the view, select the view. See how it puts our center lines in there? It also put it in the center of your holes. Okay, accept that. We also need center marks. Okay, any side view of a hole needs to have a center line. So we wanted center mark because the tops of the holes want a center mark. Okay, so we can select our view here as well for all holes. Okay, and okay, we want to select our view. See how it puts it in there. All right. So another thing ASME standards want, if this hole is centered with this, we should be extending this. Okay. We want to extend these lines. Okay, that's proper ASME standards. Okay, we'll be doing that here. Okay. If you look, it comes out a little funky. So if we right click and delete this, I'll show you another way of how to put a center mark in, which I like to do. Okay, so if we see this dimension line is getting in our way, so let's delete that and I'll show you the other way of putting in dimensions. Okay, so let's go to center mark. We can actually select it on our own instead of just the view. So if you select here, see how it puts a larger one on there? That's really what we want. Okay, we can select here again, accept that. Now that looks a lot better. Okay, now the other way to put a dimension on a part. So if we go to smart dimension, we want a dimension. We're always dimensioning really to the center line, right? Okay, we got 5 inches in there. Okay, and so let's do a save, right? We haven't saved it in a while. File, save. Okay, we see how it's linked. Okay, we need to save the other one to save this. Save these both. They need to be saved in the same folder. So desktop SolidWorks. Okay, if we look here at all, okay, I have my actual model in the same folder. It's very important. Okay. All right. So now, if I go to my model, okay, you can start seeing where things are connected. Okay. So the title that comes in from what you put in your document properties. Okay, the title, okay, comes in right here. Okay, so let's look at that. So title, U bracket, that comes in down here. Okay, the drawing number is what your model is saved as. If we looked at our model, it's saved as TR Chapter 7 Tutorial. Okay. Drawn by, and it has my initials. That comes in from our model as well. So our model, we go to File Properties, TCR right there. Okay. Each company usually sets up a different drawing block. Okay, title block it's called. Okay, it's got a lot of information. The angle projection. Okay, your tolerances. Okay, you should be learning print reading in your other classes as well. Make sure that you're using what you have learned in your other classes and you're using that here. Okay, the check by, they would put that in here. Okay, when your supervisor checked your drawing, making sure that everything's good, they would put it in there. Let me show you how it's linked. Okay, so if I come in here and I say edit my sketch, okay, and I change this diameter to 0.375, I accept that. I come over here, yeah, updates, and it changes it on my print as well. Okay, and it'll change that for any of these things that you change. Okay, it just needs a little rebuild, and it changes it. So let's change that back to what it's supposed to be, to a 1/4 inch. Okay. So in the real world, the print is always king. Okay, it's always in charge. Okay, so this is a print that's with our model. So most of the time, you don't want to send this, because if you send the DWG file, okay, on your wherever it is, okay, it's attached to it. Okay, so you can't send them the drawing file without the part file. They have to be together. Okay, so the proper way to save and submit a blueprint, a print, okay, not really a blueprint anymore. A lot of people call them blueprints. It's more just a manufacturing print. Okay, so we want to do a file, save as, and we want that in the same folder too. We're going to save that as a PDF. Okay, so we save that. Let's just save sheet 1. Accept that. Let that load up. See how it's still loading down here. Okay. If we go into our folder, select our PDF. Okay. That gives us a nice PDF file of that. All right. So then you would just submit this to a vendor to make, or you would put it out on the shop floor if you manufactured yourself. Okay, main points to get out of here is that it is still connected when it's a DWG file. Okay, it is still attached to your solid part. Okay, so one thing changes, it changes here. Okay, then you have your PDF file too. Okay, so for this week's homework, okay, if we look on Blackboard, homework 8 is chapter 8. Okay, the files you're going to be making are chapter 14 exercises. Okay, they're really easy. Okay, not too difficult. We should all be able to make those no problem at this point. Okay, don't get too caught up with the fillets here. Okay, if we look at the volumes here, okay, don't be worried if this part, the fillets, depending on how you select it, can really get thrown off. Okay, so if you're not dead on the money for the bracket, okay, don't get discouraged. Okay, as long as you're close to that, you should be fine. So a few things to go over. Drawing requirements. Create detailed part drawings of each model. Insert the necessary orthographic projections, meaning the top view, the front view, the right view. Okay, most of these should all be able to be done with the top, the front, and the right plane, the three main views. Okay, a lot of them you don't even need all three of them. Okay, you need to be the judge of that. Okay, if you could reverse model that from your print off of two views, then okay. That's the easiest way to tell. Okay, use stick B size. Okay, these are all millimeters. Okay, make sure we're using the millimeter. Okay, we're going to use B size. Okay, make sure that we're adding the little isometric view in the top right, and we're putting the appropriate note underneath it. Isometric view, scale none. And it should be centered. Okay, go back in the video if you need to see how I did that. Okay. Add a yeah, we already went over that. Okay. Make sure you're going over all this. Okay. Okay, don't get too caught up in any of this. Just read it. Okay. Submit. And for your submitting, you're not I don't want the models. I don't want these models. I want these PDF prints. Okay, notice this is the same as this. So you're really making only 4 parts. It's not 5, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So those are in chapter 14. Okay. If you look at chapter 14, it'll be in there. Okay, you also have PDFs here. Okay, I want your PDFs. All right. If you look at chapter 9 is going to be the chapter 14 of the assembly of these parts. We'll learn how to make an assembly and put these all together and how to do all that. All right. Well, for this week's homework, okay, we're modeling these parts, and then we're going to make PDF drawings of each part. All right. So take care until next week. Everyone be safe. If you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to call me, email me, you can video chat. I'll help you out as much as I can.